It's interesting. When I first started thinking about spiritual stuff a lot, actually, I was pretty young when I first started, but um, I noticed um, I noticed the sense of indifference towards life that accompanied spiritual progress. I think, I was reading a lot of the Tao Te Ching, um, and I noticed the apathy that is also accompanies psychotic behavior. For example, when people go crazy and murder and to have no respect for, I mean, maybe not thinking of murders, um, but thinking about people that are addicted to drugs or, born without empathy. Also having so there's a bizarre similarity there between mental illness and spiritual awakening that goes more than the things that come out of our mouth. There's a strange.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes what people think it's mental illness, it's actually uh people being intuitive, being able to communicate with those who have passed on in a way.
Yeah.
They're able to see and communicate with those currently. So sometimes to other people, it appears as if they are talking like by themselves, as if they are crazy, but they're actually talking to those who are still around, roaming around, you know, in their
Yeah.
spiritual bodies.
There was a there's a woman that's dying right now from my hometown that is really into drugs. She's about 20 years older than me. And she was really into drugs and she was psychotic and she didn't like to take her medicine. And she always had, so she got some money from the government, but she always had kind of a used clothing store, that didn't have to make money. Uh, and
Mm.
she was an old school 70s hippie and feminist and lesbian. And so we would show up at her shop and just hang out when we were kids, when we were in junior high. And talked to her in high school. And she would have her psychotic episodes, and we would talk to her and try to figure out what she was talking about and expand our minds. We would say things, and she would listen to us. So she's dying now. And, I'm one guy with, you know, a dozen friends or something that would do something like that. But she's dying now, and she's been in that town doing that for almost 50 years. And there's this huge community of generations of kids, and adults, and she hangs out in bars, terrible drinking problem. And people that have really been touched by her. And she was crazier than any of us, you know, but full of all this
Yeah.
empathy and there's just this huge outpouring of support and love for her. It's like a dystopian version of It's a Wonderful Life. Have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No, I think
It,
I've heard about it, but
it's this old Christmas movie where, this guy runs into some financial trouble and angels come and show him, how he's actually affected so many people. And then he's
yeah.
happy at the end. But this is sort of the same thing, I mean, by any regular metric, her life has been very, very tragic. but on the same level, she's touched so many people, very interesting.
Yeah. Did she pass on?
She's on the verge right now. So she's gone to what they call hospice in the United States. So that means you go to a place where, you know, they've recognized that you don't have long to live, and usually there's people that come and take care of you, but they don't, I think they minimize the drugs or the surgery and so forth. Um, so it's probably going to be in the next month or so. Yeah.
Mm, wonderful, wonderful.
This is picture of us. Last time when my stepmom died, I went back and she was there at the bar. That's this picture. I'll send you a picture here. We can begin. Here we go. I'll show you just real quick. How do I hit that? Where's the share button? Here we go. Do you see her? There she is.
Oh yeah, I can see. I can see it.
And there she is now in her old age, painting of her. This is huge. There she is. It's
Oh
huge
yeah.
outwelling of support for her. There's her when she was,
Still, yeah.
And there's so many people, yay, we remember. It's
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. So she actually made a huge impact in the community around that area.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if you're a young kid, it's a very, very cold, strange culture, you know. You've got your own things that you're messing with. You can come and talk to somebody that will really listen the best they can, and give back the best they can. And
yeah.
she was like a street therapist, giving terrible advice, consistently terrible advice.
Wow. Yeah, these characters are unique, you know, in their own expressions, and they may seem to be different in terms of how they express themselves, but they still the totality expressing as those different characters. Each character that is here. Oh, sorry, just a second. Okay. Yeah, I was just uh, minimizing the volume because the TV was
Ah,
yeah. So as I was saying, the characters are beautiful, they are okay, and they may seem to be different in their according to their own apparent expressions, but there's still this uh, unchanging vastness expressing as those characters. And the characters themselves are never actually there as separates. But in the story, it may appear as if they are separates. But separation itself is just a story. There's no real separation. It's just an appearance in that which is never separate, that which is timeless and undivided, whole, and complete already, expressing as incomplete as a character who needs to get somewhere, who needs to achieve something. But really, there is nowhere to get to. And that's is the reality. There's nowhere to get to. There's nothing to fix. There's no one to fall away already. There's just already this which is nothing appearing as everything. So it's okay. Even when it seems if to a certain character things are not going well, they are very bad. But that as it is doesn't belong to anyone. That expression is just this vastness, this what is, nothing expressing as that. So it's not personal, even when it seems as if it's personal. And there is already no one there who's doing anything. It's just a sense. It's just a sense. When that sense dissipates, it is recognized that there wasn't anyone there. And the recognition itself doesn't belong to anyone because there is already no one that the recognition can belong to. It's just what appears to happen for nobody. And it's okay to seek for this because even the seeking itself, it arises as a result of that sense of being separate from everything. So even the sense itself is just everything appearing as that sense. So nothing is excluded in this because everything is already just this. So the seeking is already freedom appearing as seeking. What appears to be the seeker is already freedom appearing as what seems to be the seeker. There is no real seeker who will, by listening to this message, who will eventually fall away. Even though the falling away itself may seem to happen, but that's illusory because there is nothing to fall away. It's just an expression. It's just this sense or this nothingness expressing as the sense of separation from everything. Then seeking happening until the seeking is no more. And then it's recognized that there wasn't anyone who was seeking already. There was just this. So as I always say, the seeker can never really find what it's looking for because the seeker is already not there as separate from this, from everything, from wholeness. So this doesn't mind, anything may arise here. We can talk about anything because everything is this already. Even the one who agrees that all there is this, is just this already. Even the one who disagrees, it's beautiful. Disagreement and agreement, it's beautiful. Yes or no is okay. It's beautiful. Because already it doesn't belong to anyone. Even though in the story it may seem as if it belongs to anyone, but it's just a story. It's just an appearance. There's no one there that yes or no can belong to because there is just that sense itself. It's just a sense. Just like these bodily sensations that may be felt. So it's assumed that there is a body because of these sensations. But there is no body here. It's just those sensations and what appears to be an image that is in the mind. There is really nothing here, nobody here. So everything as it is okay. Everything is okay. Even when it seems as if there is something that feels that it's not yet there or it's not okay, that's okay too. Trying to be okay, it's okay too. There's no wrong or right here. This doesn't suggest that there shouldn't be any attempts to be okay. It doesn't also suggest that uh, there shouldn't be anything happening. Anything that seems to arise in this, it's already an expression of this. So it's not wrong or right, it's just what appears to happen. And it's already happening to no one for no one. It's just what's happening. Even when it seems it's going somewhere, never really going anywhere. It's just an appearance. It's just a story. It's a dream without a dreamer. So there's no one to wake up. So this, what is already eternal life. This life never began, therefore it never ends. The bodies, or what seems to be the body, may seem to dissipate or may seem to collapse, but this, what is, remains as it is because it doesn't depend on the body for it to be what it is. It's just what it is with or without the body. So the body itself is within this, within wholeness, or you can call it a soul. The soul is never within the body. The body is within the soul. The soul is vast. They can be that when they seem to be an individual, the story, different characters. It's just this soul, eternal soul, projecting itself uh, in that, or what seems to be the body. Then it seems as if there's somebody there, but it's still just this vast soul, or this, or wholeness, spaciousness. Words don't matter. It's nothing. It's really nothing. You can call this whatever. It doesn't really mind. So there might be a remembering and forgetting happening in this appearance stories, trying to figure out what life is, what is life, trying to fix things there and there. It's just an appearance in this, just how this expresses itself. This is never personal. This is already impersonal, even when it seems as if it's personal. So there's no wrong or rights. Seeking is allowed to be as it is. Meditation is allowed to be as it is. Reciting mantras, you know, whatever is happening, whatever is appearing in this, it's still an expression of this. So this is unconditional love because everything is just the way it is, you know. It's there's no judgment. Even what appears to be a religion is still an expression of this. Cults, um, societies, different organizations, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just already vastness, what is expressing it that that's all behind that body. It's just freedom expressing as that the space, the table, the chairs, you know, the computer screen, the voice. This voice doesn't belong to anyone already. The movement of the body, like eyes blinking, that as it is doesn't belong to anyone. It's just happening by itself. There's no one who's controlling anything. Even the hearts, it's just pumping the blood by itself. There's no one who's pulling the strings who makes the heart to pump faster or slow. It's just but there might be something claiming that, oh, I'm the one doing it, you know. In the same way, the heart is just doing pumping the blood by itself. So as the talking is just happening, there's no one doing it. The blinking, the thinking, there's no thinker, there's no one doing thinking. It's just happening by itself. There is just emptiness behind the thinking that is happening, talking happening. There is that emptiness. There is that freedom. Even somebody, even when somebody is claiming that, oh, there must be somebody there thinking thoughts. That's as it is. Also, is just freedom. There's no one behind those words, so that is not judged as well. Because this can never really judge itself, because it doesn't see the other, see the self as everything. Yet, seeing the other is still an expression of this. So you can't go wrong with this. You can't go right with this. This may say, I hate you. I love you. This may swear. This may express love. It's still just this. It's still this. This nothing expressing as that. This may say, I am just about to find enlightenment. I'm so excited. It may also say, been doing this for years, but there's no luck. I never even got closer to finding enlightenment, so I'm giving up. It's time for me to give up. That's as it is still an expression of this. There's no entity behind those words. Even when they seem to be negative or positive, it's still an expression of this. It's just nothing appearing as that. So there are no real prime minister, there are no real presidents, there are no real people in the world. There's no real world. Everything is this. Everything is wholeness. Everything is nothing. So there's nothing to get, and there's nobody to get anything. There's just simply what's happening. So whatever that seems to be happening, it may seem to be enjoyed. Excuse me. But the one who's enjoying, it may seem as if that one is somebody who's really there, but it's just the totality enjoying, totality appearing to be somebody enjoying doing something. So the experience itself is beautiful, but there is no real experiencer who separates. It's just the totality expressing as that, or the totality experiencing itself, if I may say. All is imagined by no one. Tomorrow is imagined. Yesterday is imagined. Time is imaginary. There's no real time. There's no real days. Tomorrow, yesterday, today. You can't find today except as a thought. You can't find tomorrow except as a thought. Thought constructs. You can't find yesterday now. So everything is this timelessness already, expressing as time. Completeness, expressing as incomplete. Journeyless, that which is journeyless, expressing as a journey. That which is formless, expressing as form. Even even the water, when it freezes, it's still water. The waves are still the ocean. They are more like space, where everything appears and disappears, but you remain as you are, as this unchanging. You remain as the undying, the unborn. And when I talk about you, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm actually talking about this, which doesn't have any name, which can never really be described. It's beyond any description. It's appearing as a description, which isn't trying to do anything, yet trying to do something happens in this. So everything may dissipate, or the appearance may seem to disappear, but this never disappears. It remains as this unchanging vastness, spaciousness, wholeness. It's not a male or a female. It doesn't have any culture. It has never been born. Therefore, it never dies. It can never be found because it's everything already. Yet it's nothing. It can never be found because even the finder is still it. Therefore, there's no finder. There's no real finder who can actually find this and claim to possess it. If that seems to happen, that's this too. So there's no real separate finder. There's just this. Expressing as a story, of somebody who's trying to find this. And this can never really be spoken. This can never be said. This is wordless. Just like a dog that chases its own tail. So as the seeker who's seeking for this. What appears to be the seeker is still this. So there's no seeker. There's just freedom. Appearing to be unfree. You can't get it because you are it already. There's only it. There's nothing separate from it. So there's no you who's looking for it. There's just this. This already in every expression. This talking about the climate change, talking about the politics, having concerns about life, searching or not searching, meditating or not meditating, enjoying Christmas Eve with the beautiful family, preparing for Christmas. It's just this expressing as that. So everything is beautiful because everything is this already. So there's no one to reach the pinnacle of the mountain. There's no mountain, therefore there's no pinnacle, no one to reach anything. There's just this. And this, what is, as it is already what is being longed for. And the longing itself, it's still this.
I'm gonna have to go to work.
Like,
Merry Christmas, Nkosi.
Merry Christmas to you too and your beautiful family.
So the next time would be the 31st. Is that okay?
The 31st.
Yeah.